honestly, the more I sit back and think about it, the more I think I should just retire from this crap and freaking start an OnlyFans. So, what do we got going on? I was going to introduce what we were calling the Silver Bullet up until it took a complete and total silver shit. That's right, he went and bought a pickup. Where's that pickup, you're asking? Right there, sitting on the trailer. So we bought that last Thursday evening, and we made it less than 15 miles down the road. The alternator took a crap. So we're driving down the road in the Silver Bullet, and the kid told me when I talked to him on the phone, he said, hey, I think the alternator on this truck is getting weak. So I said, okay, well, I'll still buy it anyway. And yeah, we didn't even make her more than maybe 30 miles. And the alternator completely crapped out. But that's okay. He gave it to me with almost a full tank of fuel, so that's worth something. Shout out to Napa Auto Parts in Deer Park. But there we go, we got a brand new one on it. We're gonna give her a shot here in a second and see if that fixed the problem. If not, yeah, I hope I didn't buy a lemon. That's right, we put an alternator on it in a Napa parking lot. Drove it home, everything was going good for a couple of days, and then I took it over to the farm project on Saturday, and it completely and totally went to shit. So of course, the GoPro's at home, so I can't film any of this crap. Gotta go on the old handheld here. So I was coming up the road out there, and she started running pretty rough and spittering and sputtering and all manner of things, and couldn't keep herself moving. Pulled over the side of the road, idled just fine, whatnot. So I freaking got going again, made it right down over there, up here to this road. It started falling flat on his face, spittering and sputtering again. And so I pulled off this road, and we're at the rodeo grounds down here in Clayton. And backed her in here, and I'm waiting for the missus to get here. I think we got a clogged fuel filter. But you want to know what's really cool? That right there is a diesel shop. I'd be more than willing to bet that if they were open, they would be able to get me going in 5 minutes. But anyway, I'm starting to wonder if I bought a pig in a poke. I am starting to wonder on this thing. So now, one of the things I'm wondering is if a 2004 5.9 fuel filter will fit in a 2001 5.9 fuel filter bowl. When Randy gets here, we're gonna find out. If it won't, well, I guess it's a good thing I got the trailer. So that's after I had I was just trying to get the old track steer bucket over to the job there, and I was coming down the Hunter Springdale Road, and the transmission started acting funky. So guess what? Had to direct and go over to Chewelah to get some ATF and put in it because it was low, and it apparently has a leak. And it hasn't really been shifting right ever since. It shifted pretty good there for a little bit, but I also think that, I'll pop the hood again. I also think that these Dodges of this generation are notorious for a problem that just makes the transmission go batshit crazy every now and then. And I can't remember if the blue one that I had this done or not on it. But you see this wire right here? That wire goes to your It has something to do with your transmission, let's put it that way. You can see they've already tried to wrap it in foil, but I don't think they wrapped it enough. When your alternator is going full tilt, the magic that's happening inside of it to make electricity can affect this wire, which makes the brain in the transmission start doing wonky crap and having seizures and God knows whatnot. So I think that's a problem. It being low on tranny fluid is a problem. It got the original transmission cooler on it, so that's got to get replaced with a Mishimoto at some point in time when I'm done hemorrhaging money into it and other things. So, but anyway, the good news is that the bug deflector works. I've had very few impacts on the windshield from kamikazes, and as you can see from the front, I have massive impact of kamikazes. So, you know, that's a good thing. That's a positive in it. You know, the bug deflector is working and I don't have to use near as much windshield washer fluid to keep the windshield clean. So, yeah, this is cool. Little push button thing. Open up here, close it. Good God. 2001 Dodge 2500 5.9 Cummins. It's a sport model. Give me 10 grand for it and it's yours. So the clouds keep getting prettier and prettier. It actually looks like one heck of a storm brewing over there. Like I said, I love it over here for the clouds. Oh look, help's arrived. Sweet! Oh, Princess to the rescue. Yay, Princess. Okay, we ran down to the store. Got a fuel filter. Now, you know how confusing it is to have two Dodge keys on the same key ring? Very. All right, so pop the hood. See what we need to get this thingy apart here. Patience, lots of patience. Okay, so I don't know how well you can see it, but they got some kind of home built cap for that fuel filter going on there. And it is a mother effing pain in the butt. It doesn't have the normal hole in the top you can get a 3/8 socket or a 3/8 ratchet into to pop it off. And we pop that freaking, you can't get it up out of there because that's where they got the sending unit for the fuel pressure gauge. So that little bit of redneckery is probably going to go at some point in time. But I got the new filter in there, so I'll fire her up and see what she says, dog. I'll give her some gas and see what happens. So now I have to trailer it over to a diesel repair shop just to get it diagnosed to figure out just what it is, because it could be any manner of things at this point. I talked to them yesterday. He said he's pretty certain that it sounds like the lift pump took a crap. Well, oh well, Rowdy loses on that one. So I'm gonna get Princess hooked up, and it's raining, so we haven't been able to get any work done. I went over and dropped a load of rock on the farm project yesterday. And as soon as we get this taken care of and handled, I'm gonna zip over there and see what the conditions look like. But I got a hinting suspicion we won't be doing anything on the farm project for a few days, because the rainstorm that was supposed to move through Saturday and Sunday decided to show up Monday and Tuesday. So I know for a fact sucker has sunk in the mud. I didn't even have to use the magic power of editing to make it look like I did that in one shot. Workout, walk around here and check my chain job, make sure that we're not going to lose this thing going off down the road. Got some air in it, got some air in it. It was not fun getting this truck up here on this trailer. As you can see, luckily this trailer I could take the fenders off to get a little more room. But it quite literally took every last bit of room to get her off. And then it took every last bit of room on that deck to get her on. Ridiculous. Alrighty. We got about an hour and a half drive to get where we're going. So I was thinking I was gonna time lapse you guys, but I am not gonna do that with the weather. I don't want you guys to get wet, so just riding the pickup with me. You're probably wondering, why'd we go and buy another pickup? Well, the reason being is because with what I'm looking at trying to do this year, I don't want to get big. I want to stay small. And if you're having to call somebody to move a Mini, move the tractor, if you don't have the ability to move your iron around, you're kind of screwed. So I said, well, we're depending upon a truck that has 326,000 miles on it, that hasn't had too terribly much done to it in the last few years. It was basically pulled out of retirement and thrown right to moving heavy stuff for a couple of years straight. I don't want to depend on just that truck and that truck alone. I want to have two trucks and one of them be a backup to the other. So I looked and looked and looked and looked and looked, and I mean, if anybody knows, right now is not a good time to be a buyer trying to buy a pickup. So this one was nearby. It was priced right for its mileage, and you know what it is. I mean, it's got some rust on it and stuff like that. It's not a beauty queen, but you know, I took it for a drive. I drove it for a while. I was like, yeah, this thing is actually drives pretty solid. It shifts smooth. It's a decent pickup. So we bought it. We didn't realize that within 400 miles we were going to be dumping thousands of dollars into it. So that was my reasoning to have another truck, is solely just to have a backup. And I mean, right now this situation is a perfect example. One truck's down, I got another truck to take care of it. If Princess were to break down, I'd be calling a tow truck to get Princess over to the diesel shop to get it looked at, you know. So I got the Silver Bulle dropped off, and I went over to the farm project, checked it out. It's still a little too wet to do anything. So we're gonna put that off for another day. Seeing the extent of what was going on with the Silver Bulle. The Silver Bulle actually has a bad fuel pump. That's what they diagnosed it. It has a cheap aftermarket fuel pump on it that died, and it's starving the VP44 for fuel. So the VP44, for those of you that don't know, That's the injection pump. So the aftermarket fuel pump is acting like a block, and it'll run up, and you can run it for about 35-40 seconds, but then it won't let any more fuel pass through the fuel pump, so it just sputters, goes to shit, and dies. So that's what they're thinking it is. They're gonna do a full diagnostic on it. They're gonna get it in the shop maybe today or tomorrow, but he did say that he has all the parts in stock for it, so that's that. Anyway, I'm gonna be on the road for about an hour or so. I would do another time lapse, but I'm pretty sure that you guys are bored of that, so down the road we go.